Hello you all, my name is Zachariah, and today I'm going to be showing you how to find the least common multiple of two numbers. So first let's talk about what a multiple is. So a multiple of a number is a number that if you take a number and multiply it by an integer, you get one of its multiples. That sounds like a lot of words and sounds very vague. Let me just show you. So if we have 3, and we want to find multiples of 3, so we can take 3 times 1 equals 3. We can do 3 times 2 equals 6. And keep just going through the integers. So 3 times 3 equals 9. 3 times 4 equals 12. So all these numbers are what we call multiples of 3. So those are multiples of 3, and we can do that for any number. We can go through and take that number and multiply it by integers, and the numbers that we get as our answers, those are the multiples of that number. It's kind of like an opposite idea to factors. I did a video about prime factors, and factoring is kind of like the opposite of that. So you take two factors of this number. If we have like 6 for example, 3 and 2 are factors of 6, and 6 is a multiple of 3 and a multiple of 2. Same for over here. 3 and 4 are factors of 12, and 12 is a multiple of 3 and 4. So it's like an opposite relationship, if that makes sense. And a good way to view that is just by factoring. So if we take 12, for instance, again, you can split that into 4 and 3 and 2 and 2. So any combination of these prime factors, I'm going to circle the prime factors, those are going to be factors of 12. So we can go through. 2 is obviously a factor of 12. 3 is obviously a factor of 12. You see 4 here, which is a combination of 2 and 2. That's going to be a factor. We can combine 2 and 3 to get 6. That's going to be a factor. And technically, 1 is always going to be a factor, and the number itself is always going to be a factor of itself. So 12 is also going to be a factor. And you can see in this situation, the way I arrange them, you can see that both the opposite ones are all going to multiply to 12. So yeah, that should show you the relationship between factors and multiples. Now let's go back to the least common multiple. Least common multiple. So if someone gives you two numbers, right? Like 6 and 9, and asks you to find the LCM, or least common multiple, of 6 and 9. Let's think about what they're asking you. So they're asking you to find a multiple, right? And they're asking you to find a common multiple. So if they're asking you to find a common multiple, you're trying to find a multiple that they both share. And you're trying to find the least one. So of course, you could always find a common multiple by just multiplying these numbers together. 6 times 9 would equal 54. This may not be the least common multiple though. So we have to check to see what that might be. So we can go through, we can do 6 times 1 equals 6, 6 times 2 equals 12, 6 times 3 equals 18, etc. We could do the same for 9. 9 times 1 equals 9, 9 times 2 equals 18, 9 times 3 equals 27, etc. And hopefully you see where the least common multiple is. It's going to be 18 because 6 times 3 equals 18 and 9 times 2 also equals 18. So the least common multiple of 6 and 9 is 18. For some numbers though, it's not going to be that easy to just go through and check every single thing. So let's say 12 and 15. I don't think anyone really wants to go through every number to check and see what the least common multiple is. So the way we can find the least common multiple is by analyzing the prime factors. So let's factor these numbers. We can factor this into 4 and 3, and then further into 2 and 2. These are all prime, so this is fully factored. These are our prime factors. And we can go here, 5 and 3, and these are our prime factors. So when we're trying to find the least common multiple, what I like to do is try and think of like the bare minimum of the prime factors that need to be a part of our multiple to satisfy both these numbers. That's a lot of words, but let me show you. So for our number to be a multiple of 12, it needs to have a 2, another 2, and a 3. So our LCM must have a 2, multiplied with a 2, multiplied with a 3. That has to be part of it, or else that number is not going to be divisible by 12, and it can't be a multiple of 12 if it doesn't have those 3 prime factors. So we can put a check here, and check here, because those prime factors are accounted for. Now let's go over to 15. So it needs a 5 and a 3 to it needs a 5 and a 3 to be the prime factors in the number for it to be considered a multiple of 15. So let's check. Do we have a 3? Well, it turns out we already do have 1 3. So that's already accounted for. Do we have a 5? No, we don't. So we need to multiply in a 5. And now that works. And this should make sense because let's look at this. So whatever number this is 12. So this number is 12 times 5. That should give it away. The number is 60. That's our LCM. 12 times 5. That works. We can also do 15 times the rest of this, which is 4. That also works. So that's how we can find the least common multiple using prime factors. You just need to make sure that every prime factor is accounted for both numbers. And if that's the case, then you'll have your least common multiple. As long as you have the bare minimum amount of prime factors to satisfy both numbers. So I hope that was helpful and gave you a better understanding. Definitely ask me any questions in the comments, and I'll talk to you all later.